Hey YouTube, my name is Nick, and in today's video, I want to show a really awesome feature of the first Forza Motorsport game on the original Xbox, which is a really hidden feature known as Network Cockpit, which involves the usage of 2 to 5 original Xboxes, which allows you to build a full driver cockpit setup using 5 consoles. So as you can see, the first 4 are here. I got my Kasumi-chan taking care of the left window of the car. That black original Xbox has the center. My Crystal is taking the right. I have another black Xbox doing a kind of cinematic camera. And then I have this one on the floor next to me, which is actually the camera that you would see if you were to basically sit in your car and look over your shoulder. That would be the back of the vehicle right there. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get a setup like this and what it looks like to play 2 races using this type of setup. So without further ado, I'm going to get on to show you what you need and how you go about this in the settings. In order to take advantage of the Network Cockpit feature of Forza Motorsport, you will need a number of things. And so, depending on how many displays you intend to use with your setup, with 2 being the minimum and 5 being the maximum, you will need 2 to 5 of each of the following items, including 2 to 5 power cables for your displays, depending on however they're powered. But first and foremost, you need 2 to 5 original Xboxes. You'll need 2 to 5 controllers, which is 1 controller per Xbox. And the reason for this is because if you only use 1 controller to set up every single console, you will find that when it gets to the rendering setup part, it might desync and like flicker the trying to sync and the connected controller screen. Like it will flash those screens really quickly. And what will tend to happen as a result of this is that the race won't load and it will basically back you out to the track select screen. So the way I was able to get around that was by having the same amount of controllers as you have Xboxes, and you have to limit it to 1 controller per Xbox. So not only do you need 2 to 5 Xboxes and controllers, but you also need either 5 copies of the game, 2 to 5 copies of the game, or you have to have the game backed up to 5 hard drives. That is, the hard drives in your consoles for the Xboxes you're going to use. What you also need is 2 to 5 Ethernet cables, because each Xbox has to connect to the Ethernet switch or the router that you're going to use to connect all the Xboxes over LAN. And you actually don't have to have your switch connected to your network at all. The Xboxes basically will just communicate to each other with the Ethernet switch, and that's what I found works. And of course, you also need 2 to 5 video cables, 1 per console, and 2 to 5 figure 8 cables, because that's what the original Xbox takes. And again, in case it wasn't clear, you also need some kind of an Ethernet switch or a router, just like the one that I have used for this video, which I will now show up on the screen here. So once you have all your consoles, displays, controllers, games, Ethernet cables, and everything all set up, I will now show you what to do in the game in order to actually connect all the Xboxes together and to organize them in a way that makes it work. So once you have all of your original Xboxes set up that you want to use for the Network Cockpit, in order to actually activate the Network Cockpit, what you have to do is you have to go down to Options from the main menu screen after you picked your profile. So you go to Options, you press A, and what you want to do is you want to scroll down to the Credits tab, and what you want to do with your controller is you want to push the left thumbstick in and down, and it will then unlock the Network Cockpit Settings tab. So when you select this, it'll come up with a bunch of options. So there's this first setting here which says Network Cockpit Channel. So if you have, like, I don't know, let's say you had 10 Xboxes instead of 5, okay? So if you have 10 Xboxes instead of 5 and you want 2 full cockpit setups, then you can basically set this channel to change depending on which Xboxes belong to which setup. And looking at the amount of channels here, it seems like you can have as many as 9 full cockpit setups simultaneously playing together. Like, I'm pretty sure if you played over System Link, it would work, because you can access all the menus after you've configured this way. But anyways, with your setup, it's typically best just to leave this alone and set every single Xbox to access channel 0. You can of course set them all to channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, but might as well just keep it at 0 because it's just going to be you and your setup. So this is more important, this second option here, which says view. And so this determines what each Xbox is assigned to render. So basically, this Xbox in the middle is set to the host. So this is the main view you have right in front of you when you sit in the car. It's the windshield, basically. This one is for the right view, so I assign that to my Crystal Xbox. Left view was my Kasumi-chan Xbox right here. The rear view I assigned to that Xbox on the floor, which is that display right there. And then we have the replay camera, which is this one off to the side, which is not as important as the other settings. You might like the replay camera if you have a bunch of friends over or whatever, and you actually have your that fifth display set up properly so that they can watch you around like your setup as you're sitting. Like maybe it's behind you further and they can see the cinematic view angles of the car. But in my humble opinion, I would say that you really don't need 5, and you could probably get away with just 3 in order to get all 3 window panes of the car. But it's kind of really neat to have the rear view camera as well. Anyways, that's besides the point. So once you set what each particular Xbox does, you press X to apply and save. And then you have to repeat that step for the other 5 original Xboxes, or however many you use. And you can, of course, set them to be whatever you want. So if for whatever crazy psychotic reason you wanted the left view to be the right view and the right view to be the left view, you could do that if you wanted, but obviously it wouldn't make sense and it would look confusing. Anyways, that's besides the point. So now that you have everything set up, I'm just going to continue on with the video and actually play 2 races to demonstrate what this actually looks like in practice, this network cockpit setup. So I'm just going to pick this Alpine Ring track, and I'll go with B class and take, I don't know, the Skyline GTR V Spec 2 looks kind of neat. Here we go. So it takes a little bit of time because it has to sync all the Xboxes together over the LAN connection. But if you see preparing for race start like it's shown there, then basically you are good to go. And you can't change the camera angle because basically all your displays are representing you sitting in the car. And you see that one off to the far right, that one is like a cinematic camera, like I said before. They call it the replay camera in the settings, as you know already, but yeah, it's so cool playing like this. The reason why this is obviously such a niche feature is most likely because most people don't have more than one original Xbox. And so it's hard to kind of gather all the resources to make this possible. Because you need, obviously, 5 original Xboxes. You need 5 Ethernet cables. 5 controllers, like if you want every single screen. Honestly, though, like you could just get away with 3 Xboxes to get all 3 sides of the car, like the windows. And that's honestly good enough. You don't really need the rear view one, because if you look at the middle, you can kind of see the rear view mirror at the top of the screen. So you don't really need to look over your shoulder, but it's still kind of cool, like that level of immersion that this game offered in 2005, and that while you're racing, you can look over your shoulder like as if you were in a real car. And it's so cool that each of these windows are basically synced perfectly with zero to no lag or issues or nothing. It just works, and it's so cool. One car is about 2 seconds behind me. This car's good. Handles pretty good. And the game just looks so good for 2005. Like, honestly, you can't complain. I don't have an original Xbox racing wheel because I've heard that the ones that they made for the original Xbox are kind of cheap in quality, generally speaking. If you know of any high quality racing wheels for the original Xbox, please let me know in the comments down below, because it would be even more immersive if you had a real racing wheel you could use, or if there was some kind of an adapter that could use more modern racing wheels with the original Xbox. But as far as I know, that's not really a thing. Even just playing this with a standard controller is just so damn cool. Ooh. Oh wait, that was best. Okay, the car behind me is still 2.6 seconds behind, so that's a little bit of ways away. They're not far, but not that close either. Yeah, I can't even see them in the rear view mirror up there. And there's the finish. I'm looking at the mini-map. And there you go. So cool. Alright. We're going to do one more race, and that will be the end of the video. This time, we'll do something interesting. I see a lot of straight lines, so we'll go with an R-Class vehicle, which is the highest rank. These are kind of like, I want to say track racing cars. Look at this Porsche. They're so flashy. Here's a Viper ACR. I might take that. Let's just see what else we got. This is an NSX. Man, that looks so cool. Where's the Viper? Here it is. The Viper ACR. Here we go. Let's give this a shot. "16 mph winds," it says there on the loading screen. Alrighty, here we go. I'm actually going to peek behind me now because it's a really long straightaway. Oh man, they're so far behind me. You should see. But I can't pick up the phone, which is recording the footage. Oh, I got distracted. Ouch. I might lose first place. I really gunned it in this thing. I got out of there. Okay, still in the lead. Took a little bit of a hit, but still in the lead. So for really long tracks like this, I can see why you'd want to look over your shoulder, because, I mean, you got time, so might as well look. You know how close or far they are in comparison to you. I like this track. This track is fun. Just the long stretches of straight road let you go full speed. Yeah, there's only one behind me. I peeked over my shoulder again. It's so cool being able to do that. Like, instead of pressing a button for it, you have to manually do it. This is kind of like VR before VR, sort of. Okay, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but this is so damn cool. I've never played a racing simulator where there's a camera behind you too, so you can physically look behind you. Honestly, very, very cool. Yeah, that one's pretty close behind me. Not that close, but not that far either. Kind of wish you could do this in PGR too, because Project Gotham Racing 2 is a lot of fun as well. As far as I know, you can only do this in this game, Forza Motorsport. And there you have it. So because I came in first and I finished the other 3 cups that I did before on the podium, so first, second, or third, I unlocked some new stuff. I got a car, 2 cars, 3 cars actually, and 2 new maps. So there you go. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.